Hey, everybody. So we're on week 48 and we're dealing with the will. So when we look at the will, there's different aspects of the will. There's really, you can break it down to four aspects. There's the physical will that's associated with, survival of the body, just survival drives, right? Even some of our defensive or protective aspects in the nervous system are driven by the that first aspect, the physical will or the will to survive. Then we have emotional will, and this is tied to our ability to compare and choose. This is good for me. This is not good for me. Um, it's also the ability to commit to something. Even the idea of not committing to something is committing to not committing. There's always some level of an emotional level of commitment. Then we have the area between the eyebrows is associated with the mental will. And this is a little bit more strategic thinking. And we're in our good place. We're doing uh, not what we want, but what needs to be done. We're doing kind of the right thing. We're doing, things that are good, but like in a strategic way, rather than the solar plexus and the emotions as more of an impulsive way, right? It sees a bigger picture. Now, if that part of the will is activated but unregulated, the person tends to be a little bit cruel. Like, they're cold and calculating. Then we have the spiritual will, and the spiritual will is really doing things outside of ourselves. We're serving the soul. And then some of the early manifestations of this would be serving others or doing acts of service. If you think about it, even the act of being a parent and raising children is an activation of spiritual will. Any sort of service oriented endeavors involve the spiritual aspect of the will. And so by going through and doing this helps to regulate the different aspects of the will and also to transmute them so that the higher aspects are a little bit more of the driving force rather than the lower aspects. I would say will is heavily impacted by pain. When we feel pain, it tends to activate more of the lower centers rather than the higher centers. And when we look at it from the point of view of vagal tone activity, as weird as it sounds, will is associated with some of the aspects of the digestive system, which sounds very weird, but it's tied to some of the primal aspects of the nervous system that are present in the gut. So when we go through and we look at will, it's not just like, I gotta get things done. It's more about how we get things done. Are we doing it from a place of survival? Are we able to commit and have constancy of aim? Are we strategic in the things that we do? And are we serving the soul or aligning ourselves with the light when we go through and we do the things that we do in the world? And so, it's part of everything that we do, but we really usually don't think about will too much. And, I don't know that we have to, but the more that this is refined, usually means a better quality of life, you know? So, with that, the blend is willpower. So, you're pulling out the blend willpower. Notice how you feel your body, your emotions, and your thoughts. And let's begin by inhaling on the left side of your body, left side of your face and neck, your left shoulder and ribs, your left hip, down the outer leg to the left outer ankle. You're still on the left side of your body. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Move your awareness to the front side of the body, the face and throat, the chest, the abdomen, front of the pelvis, down the fronts of your legs to the tops of your feet. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Move your awareness to the right side of your body, right side of your face and neck, your right shoulder and ribs, your right hip, down the outer leg to the right outer ankle. On the right side of your body, nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And then the back side of the body, the back of the head and neck, your whole back, your hips, down the backs of your legs to your heels. Oh, it says feeling for And then pause and be still. Pause and be still. And just being still. Let it incubate for a moment. Okay. So that's a nice little tune up. It's something you can do on a daily basis to kind of keep that refined. Before we were doing the Auric programming many years ago, I used to just wear this blend or a variation of it. It's gotten better over the years. Um, I used to wear this a lot on a daily basis just so that I could keep the pace of getting my stuff done, like doing it, but in a way that didn't feel wound up. It was like I could stay committed and getting things done, but not like I got to get things done. It's just like, yeah, I'm gonna get things done, but I did it at a good pace, you know. And so, you can do this on a daily basis. You can integrate it into other processes. You could do it as a stack, but it's nice to, I don't know. I always felt like it helped me have direction more than anything. And so, we don't always maybe have like a big to-do list, but still, I don't know. For me, I think it was even just like direction in life. Am I navigating life in general the way that I'd like? And so, this is kind of tied to that. So, you know, anyway, so now we're going to go through and we're going to do the advanced approach. And this you might only do once or twice a week. That way, your energy body can shift and integrate, and your physiology can shift as well. Okay, so you're still using the same oil. Your awareness is on the left side of your body. You're doing nice, long, slow, deep breaths with your awareness on the left side of your face and neck, your left shoulder, your ribs, your hip, down the outer leg to the left outer ankle. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Doing nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Let's move our awareness to the back side of the body, the back of the head and neck, your whole back, your hips, down the backs of the legs to your heels. You're on the whole back side of the body. The right side of the body. Right side of your face and neck, your right shoulder and ribs, your right hip, down the outer leg to the right outer ankle. And then the front side of the body, the face and throat, the chest, abdomen, front of the pelvis, down the front of the legs to the tops of your feet. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths with your awareness on the front side of the body. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And then pause and be still. Just let it incubate and be still. Just being still. Let's begin inhaling. Your awareness is on the knees. It can be the whole knee or the back of the knee, whichever one works for you. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Your awareness is still on your knees. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Your awareness is on the ankles. Thank you. Your awareness is on the ankles. And then move your awareness to the soles of your feet. Your awareness is on the soles of your feet. And then pause and be still. Just pause and be still. You're just being still. To do the four quadrants again, your awareness is on the left side of your body, left side of your face and neck, your left shoulder, ribs, your left hip, down the outer leg to the left outer ankle. And taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. The front side of the body, the face and throat, the chest, abdomen, down the front of your pelvis and the front of your legs to the tops of your feet. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. The right side of the body, the whole right side of your face and neck, your right shoulder and ribs, your right hip, down the outer leg to the right outer ankle. Whole back side of the body, back of the head and neck, your whole back and hips, down the backs of your legs to your heels. And taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And then just pause and be still. Just let it incubate. In the last little piece, your awareness is on your brain. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths with your awareness on your brain. Your awareness is on the brain. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Your awareness is on your spine. Your awareness is on your spine. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Your brain and spine both at the same time. And then brain and soles of your feet. The awareness is on your brain and soles of your feet. As you inhale, move your awareness up above the ankles. As you exhale, move your awareness down into the earth. Then just pause and be still. Just be still. That's right, John. Okay, so let's go ahead and do shares and questions, and we'll do a round of that, and then we'll jump into a deeper dive. So go ahead and unmute or type in and let it rip.
Yeah, go ahead, Teresa.
Hey, hey.
Hello. Um, that was very soothing, which was great.
Yeah.
And it's kind of ironic. I picked up sacrificial love today, just as an
Mhm.
oil. And is that similar in the way of adjusting the willpower?
No, not really.
No? Okay.
No, I mean it's very soothing.
Okay.
It can like if the body's agitated or overwhelmed, it can be very soothing.
Okay.
Like, but it's different mechanisms.
Okay. Different
Yeah,
mechanisms.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Still soothing, but
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, just you know, like for example, if we're in situations where there's a lot of stuff being projected at us, the tendency is that probably the emotional will, but also the physical will is going to be activated. But then, like, if we look at it from the viewpoint of like how we talk about the nervous system, is that not only is it activated, but it's kind of dysregulated.
Hmm.
And so, we're coming from that place of survival, but like in not a good way. We
Yep.
feel like very defensive and everything. And the willpower blend, it does help to kind of soothe some of that out, iron that out,
Mhm.
bringing each aspect into, you know, like the equivalent of vagal tone, but for the will. And
Mhm.
then calming down the dysregulation where the sacrificial love would clean up or soothe the the wrecked hotel room, like the aftermath. You know what I mean?
I wasn't expecting that, but that sounds
Right, right.
great.
Like it's a very good like for mopping up those kinds of things, but it wouldn't necessarily refine the will so much.
Okay,
Kind of, but not like how the blend does it.
got it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And which one would be helpful if the mind's holding on to some trauma?
Um, the mind's holding on to some trauma. And you just have a hard time like letting it go
Yeah, because I
or moving
associate that
past
with the
it.
yeah, with the
Yeah.
mental level and with the will. And maybe I shouldn't, but
Um, well, I mean, it could. I
hmm.
mean, definitely, you'd go into kind of a bit of a survival mode. Um, I would probably do the blend willpower for that.
Okay.
And the area that probably would need it the most, we're going to kind of cover these things, but you would
Okay.
do the ajna and the forehead for
Okay.
that, because even the idea of how we go through and we do the materialization breath.
Hmm.
It's materializing light, and we're expanding, and we're going beyond the senses, and having some sort of vision or picking up something in the ethers, and then we're bringing it down into form. And so that's an aspect of the materialization breath, but there's also the aspect of like every time we do the materialization breath, we are aligning ourselves with light. Like you could think of every situation as standing at a crossroads, as which direction am I going to go? And light being where the situation is more aligned with the intuitive mind, and darkness is going to be repetition and pain, right? Like the school of hard knocks is what people would,
Uh,
where the alignment to the intuitive side is basically realizing your way out of it, right?
yep.
Or refining it or whatever. And so that idea of doing the materialization breath keeps aligning more towards the light, the intuitive mind. And really, what you're doing is you're aligning the intuitive mind with the somatic part of your nervous system. And
Hmm.
when it's the school of hard knocks and, repetition and pain, we're more in the intellect part. And so it's the intellect is aligned more with the somatic nerves. And so, not to make this complicated, but depending on which way we're aligned will also dictate like how deep we can go into vagal tone and what area we can go into vagal tone or what level we're dysregulated and like what's the depth of the dysregulation. And so the refinement of the will and the refinement of the materialization breath helps us to align with the intuitive mind, but kind of keeps elevating those aspects so that we can have deeper levels of vagal tone, rest and repair, and we can have deeper and more profound levels of regulating the dysregulation and diminishing the neural loops. And so the more that you keep refining the will, like the deeper that will go. And going back to what you were asking about with like being stuck in something is really, if you look at it from the point of view of the nervous system, is you are like when we have any time something that we're trying to let go of and we're having to one first go through the act of trying to release something, but then also being stuck in it is we're stuck somewhere in that neural cycle.
Yep.
You know, we had an incident, we had an alert, and defensive and protective mechanisms got kicked into play, and then we didn't get to come to the place of completion where then we discharged those defensive and protective energies and processes, and then after that we'd go into regulation. And so
Hmm.
on some level we'll sometimes get stuck in these situations, and it's not really a psychological thing. It's really usually more neurological. But from the point of view of intellect, we see it all kind of like two-dimensionally. Like if I do this, this will happen. When really there's like this,
Yep.
like that, but then that's like depth of what we're looking at. And so the aspects of the will are part of that depth, if that
Got
makes
it.
sense. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're so welcome. I love geeking out on this stuff.
Oh, wonderful. That gives a lot of perspective on
Yeah.
how
I mean,
things.
and it's kind of like what I said before is if you think about it, like a lot of the aspects of our will are associated with past experiences of pain, the avoidance of pain.
Hmm.
It's very pain oriented.
Jeff,
It doesn't mean it's completely that, but pain has a big impact on our will.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Greg.
You're so welcome.
And go ahead, Denise.
Hee hee.
Hi, Greg. I just wanted to ask, as we refine our will, like
Mhm.
with this willpower and working with it, will it slowly move into where it comes more from our soul? The will of our soul? Will it kind
So that would be more the spiritual will. Yeah, right. Our lower nature is a lot of times driving more of the will to survive, associated with the
of, okay.
basic chakra, and then the emotional will, and sometimes even the mental will. But when we're coming more from the place of being guided by the soul or serving the soul, it's the activation of the spiritual will, which is associated with the crown. And so, over a period of time, yes,
Or eventually, I imagine,
Mhm,
as
mhm.
you reach up, right?
Sure.
And you said it would be the forehead and the ajna. Is that what you said? I'm sorry, I missed that. I should have wrote it down.
No, for the spiritual will, it's the crown.
The crown. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the lower nature would be
Well, the mental, emotional, and physical will can still be driven by the lower nature. But as the spiritual will gets activated, where we can have those also be driven by the higher nature. So if you think about it through the eyes of like dysregulation and vagal tone, um, when we have the negative qualities associated with the will, like good example of it from the point of view of the basic, which is the survival aspect would be violence, aggression, things of that nature, where from the point of view of the emotional will might be, a little bit of judgment or manipulation, things of that nature. And so uh we want to not just come from the point of view of the spiritual will driving everything, but we want those lower aspects of will to also be regulated so that we have like a positive quality. Like for example, like person can be like have like a spiritual inclination somewhat, but then still do kind of horrible things. They
Sure.
have this like good side, and then they have this Jekyll and then the Hyde side, where they're like, pretty sketchy. And it's just those aspects of will needing to be refined.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's very helpful. I can tell this is one that would be really good
Yeah.
for work with.
It's good for everybody. It the thing the reason that I don't talk about will very much is it's a harder thing to address. So much easier to kind of just keep nudging the way that we do, but like, you know, when you really go hard at the will, it's the will, so it pushes back. Like, you know what I mean? It's not
Yes.
always like going, oh yeah, we'll totally shift and do all those things. Like it doesn't always do that. And so, because a lot of times if you think about it, it might be guarding or protecting from old wounds, and you just go directly at the will and um you know, it might even make the person or the situation, the physiology even more defensive. And so even this idea of doing it with the Auric program and how we go through and we do this and then we do like little transmutations, it's still a very soft way to transmute the will or help with aligning the will with also the intuitive mind. Yeah.
I can see what you're saying completely.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, trust me, I've tried over the years. Oh, it was brutal. Like, and I will say, out of all the healing and spiritual practices, like aspects of going after the will is it's a very slippery slope. Like, you can walk the path, but if you slip, you usually slip pretty hard. You backslide pretty hard, you know.
I'm trying to avoid
So,
that right
like if
now.
you think about it, there's not a lot of spiritual practices that are very will based. And they're around, but they're not very common, and they're not for, the faint of heart. Like it's usually a very rough practice, like a very, very rough practice. Yeah.
Thank you for giving us these techniques.
Mhm. We're going to do a thing that's a deeper transmutation of will here in just a little bit.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome.
Somebody's asking, where on the body does Greg wear the Willpower blend?
On my wrist and um like on my navel a lot. Yeah.
All right, guys, get ready for the deeper practice. And just remember next week, number 49, Zodiac. So
Zodiac influences.
that'll be fun.
Okay, so we're going to do a deeper dive. And, just like we were talking about, one of the ways to refine the will over a period of time, you know, especially for specific situations, is to do the materialization breath. So we're going to do the materialization breath. I'm going to have you think of a goal or an area of healing, and then we're going to do some transmutation of some different aspects of the will. And then we're going to come back and we're going to look at the materialization breath again. So you're going to still use the blend that you're using, or you could use Lang Lang. You could use frankincense, Buddha wood. Let's see where everybody's at with that before we start going down that other rabbit hole. Let's see what you guys have. And okay, we're good. So think of an area of healing or some goal or issue you'd like to address. Okay, you're observing the goal or the issue, the area of healing. Okay. Now we're going to do the materialization breath. So you're going to let it all go. You're going to hold the bottle to your chest, chin down. You're going to inhale through your nose, hold your breath, head up, exhale. So that would be one. So inhale, hold your breath, up, exhale. Down, inhale, 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 up, exhale. Just be still. And then again, you're reflecting on the situation, that same situation, area of healing, goal, whatever it is. Sit and reflect on that same situation. And then bottle to your chest and do 8 or 9 of the materialization breaths. Do them at your own pace. Okay, so we have two sets of materialization breaths. We have an idea of how that feels. Let's do a little transmuting and see how it goes. So the very first thing we're going to address is the will to survive, which is associated with the bottom of the tailbone. So this is keeping the body alive, keeping us from perceived threats that might impact our survival. So even sometimes the idea of like abandonment or rejection still could be activating this, even though that's a little bit more social. It still has a very survival oriented feel to it. If I don't fit into the group, it means that life is harder or I might die. So it's keeping the body alive, defending the body, protecting the body. Okay, so you're going to use the same oil. Your awareness is on the bottom of your tailbone. So take nice, long, slow, deep breaths. The awareness on the bottom of the tailbone. Okay, just pause and let that go for a moment. And now your awareness is going to be on the low back, the backside of the navel, the Ming Men. What transmutes the will of survival is the Ming Men. So nice, long, slow, deep breaths with your awareness on that low back area, the backside of the navel. And then let that go for a moment. I don't know that. Like I always find, especially the one that we just did, it takes a bunch of tension out of my body that like I didn't even know was there until it's gone. And then you're like, whoa, what was that about? And it's just that defensive protective energy that, you know, gets all flared up. Right. So we're gonna do the bottom of the tailbone again. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And then pause and let that go. Just pause and let that go. Now your awareness is on the backside of the navel, that low back area. Again, you're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And then pause. Just let that incubate for a moment. And let's see how that settles in with the materialization breath. So observe your goal or that area of healing, and then let it go. Bottle to your chest. Do 8 or 9 of the materialization breaths. Do them at your own pace. Was there a difference between the first time and the second time? How'd that feel for you? Like, feel different?
Mm-hmm.
So keep that in mind. But now we're going to do the emotional will. So this is associated with your solar plexus. So your awareness is going to be on your front solar plexus. So that area is below your ribs, on your upper abdomen. Your awareness is on the front solar plexus. Move your awareness to the back solar plexus, the mid back area, below the shoulder blades. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And now move your awareness up to the back heart, that area between your shoulder blades. And then just pause and let go. Just be still. Just being still. Let's do that one again. Your awareness is on your front solar plexus, which is your upper abdomen below your ribs. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Your awareness is on the back solar plexus, that mid back area, below your shoulder blades. And then your awareness is up on the back heart. And then just pause and be still. Yeah, nice. that's your new favorite this week. Okay, so again, observe your area of healing or your goal. And let's just see what happens when we do the materialization breath now. Do 8 or 9 of the materialization breaths and do them at your own pace. And then just pause and be still. Did that feel different than when we first did the materialization breath? You can see how each aspect of will plays into the materialization breath. Okay, so now we're going to do the mental will. So this has to do with strategic thinking and doing what needs to be done versus doing what I want to do, or um, the impulsive drives. Right, I always like kind of liken this to like this between the solar plexus, which is the emotional will. The emotional will that we just did is I want what I want and I'm not backing down. You know, you're gonna where the mental will is I might want this, but is it the right thing to do? Doesn't have to do with what I want to do, it's what needs to be done, right? There's a time and a place for both, but usually the mind, the mental component is much more strategic and thinks more long term. You know, the emotional will just thinks about right here, right now. Right. So you still using the same oil. You're gonna inhale with your awareness between the eyebrows. You're still between the eyebrows. You're doing nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Now, move your awareness to your forehead where the hairline is. Your awareness is on the forehead. Nice, long, slow, deep breath. And then just pause and be still. How'd that one feel? Your awareness is between the eyebrows. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breath. Your awareness is on the forehead. Your awareness is on your forehead. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And then just pause and let it go. Just let it go. Hey, you're going to concentrate on your goal or area of healing. You're observing it. Let it go. Bottle to your chest. Do 8 or 9 of the materialization breaths. Just be still. Okay, we're going to do the spiritual will that's associated with the crown. Okay, so we've done the physical will when we did the bottom of the tailbone and the Ming-Men. We did the emotional will where we did the front back solar plexus and then the back heart. And now we just did the mental will where we did the ajna and then the forehead. And so now we're doing the spiritual will, which is the crown. So your awareness is on top of your head. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Now, the transmutation of this is you're going to go 12 inches above your head. So move your awareness to approximately 12 inches above your head. When your awareness is up there, you're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Just pause and let go. Just pause and let go. Your awareness is on top of your head. Take some nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And move your awareness 12 inches above your head. And then pause and let go. Oh, that one fell. Focus on the goal. Let it go. Bottle to your chest, chin down. 8 or 9 of the materialization breaths. Just being still. So after we've done all 4 aspects, how did the materialization breath feel compared to when we started? How did that feel for you? So we just have a few minutes before we jump over to the prayer petitions for Astara, but I have enough time for like maybe a share or two.
The materialization breath just kept getting stronger.
Yeah,
and
like a lot stronger.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's, I mean, there's lots of ways to make the materialization breath much more potent, and this is one of them, you know.
Someone shared, just got a lovely bit of inspiration.
Oh, good for you. Yeah. Yeah, I would say materialization breath is very good for inspired action. Yeah.
And go ahead, Denise.
Hey, hey.
We can't hear you yet. I think I made it so you can unmute yourself, though.
Oh, well, yes, you
There
did.
we,
Sorry.
there we go.
I was asking, what are the oils and willpower?
It's very simple actually. It's lang lang, frankincense, and Buddha wood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I used to make a much more complex version of it. There was about, I don't know, 12 or 13 oils in it. And I found that beyond those three, I didn't really need anything else. And so, yeah.
I liked it. I liked the protocol you gave us. Thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome.
Hey Greg, this is Susanna.
Hey, Susanna.
Hey, I actually just intuitively had Lang Lang, because I don't have the blend,
Uh-huh.
but I haven't been on these in a while, and um, I went from like first envisioning, what I was focused on from like
Uh-huh.
anxiety,
Uh-huh.
and by the end it shifted to like, oh, I can't wait to see when this will happen.
Oh, very good. Yeah.
So thank you.
And it's it's a weird thing, but Lang Lang is very transmuting to the will. Very, and it like does it in like a super soothing way, you
That's
know.
amazing.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Like that and even frankincense by itself. Very, very potent. So yeah, good for you.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome.
And just one last quick share. Someone said, the last breath felt so much more focused,
Mhm.
strong, and confident. Acceptance flowed through me. Thanks.
So the thing that I would say is, doing the materialization breath on a regular basis is very good for you. It strengthens the connection to the soul, helps align with the intuitive mind, and it helps us to like either heal or achieve our goals. And so, there's a whole wide range of things that we would use for the materialization breath, but this is one of those ones where it could be a bread and butter, everyday kind of thing. And, you could do the materialization breath every day, and you don't necessarily have to use this blend or some of these oils, but doing the materialization breath on a regular basis is very, very helpful. So it could be part of your daily practice, you know. So we're going to jump over to the prayer petitions and with a star, like a little 15-20 minute meditation and blessing if you want to join us. And if not, we have our deeper dive with tomorrow night at 7, and we have the 6 o'clock Stara streams. So you can join us for that as well. So take care.